Down there. Down there. I'll be a piston.
Okay, we are back from meal 2. It is a little bit before 10:30. Ate that first meal like right around 7:30, so about 3 hours later. This is what we got. 252 grams of wild-caught Alaskan cod, 50 grams of green beans, quarter teaspoon of pink salt. Already took my digestive enzymes, and then I have 15 grams of this sriracha maple new sauce, 5 calories. Any sauce 10 calories or under, as long as I measure and it was good. We are already on liter number of water number 3. In between meal 1 and meal 2, I did knock out 20 minutes of walking, so I have 80 minutes of stairs and then 20 minutes of walking on top of that. Also having a Coke Zero, started like 75% through already. Hunger is extremely high, fatigue, tired. And just do more work after this, and then maybe try to take a little nap before meal 3 to try to get a little more energy for the gym and the second Stairmaster session and the posing. But this is 195 calories, 46 grams of protein, 2 grams of carbs, and 0 grams of fat. So put this down, keep working, and then I'll see you back for our pre-workout meal number 3. All right, y'all, we are getting meal 3 geared up and ready to go, as well as our intra-workout, our pre-workout. This is our pre-workout meal. This is finishing off liter of water number 4. The rest of it's already in this blender bottle with my pre-workout. Today I'm doing 1.5 scoops of pump and 1 scoop of stim. Sometimes I always do at least 2 scoops total of pre-workout to get 2 full scoops of pump. Rarely do I ever do 2 full scoops of stim because caffeine is a vasodilator, so it can constrict blood flow to a certain extent. So I try to keep my pre-workout to 200 milligrams caffeine tops. But especially in prep, when carbs are lower, a lot of what you're relying on to get that pump is salt and hydration. I will do a little extra pump, so a total of 2.5 scoops of pre-workout, 1.5 pump, 1 stim, and the stim also has all the same pump products, just caffeine added. Pre-workout meal. The previous low day, it was 224 grams of chicken, 70 grams of jasmine rice. As discussed earlier this morning, all chicken meals are lowered to 196 grams. Oh, come on, we're jumping back and forth between 195 and 197. There we go, 196. Got my little pan heated up. Throw the chicken on there. Again, I have the luxury of working from home a lot, so I like keeping my meals up fresh, rather than eating cold, which I have to do sometimes on the road, or microwave sometimes when I'm in the office. It just tastes better cooking fresh on the pan, in my opinion. So yeah, this is, again, 1.5 scoops pump, 1 scoop stim. Intra-workout, I got 1.5 scoops of Silo 9 EAAs and hydration. Hostile, Braden, code Braden10, check out 10%. 10 grams of creatine, 10 grams of glutamine, 3 grams of taurine, and we're rocking with 1.5 liters of water. Start sipping this right at the beginning of the workout, like right when I get in there. And generally by the time I'm getting off the Stairmaster, it's pretty much done. Finish it on my way home, sometimes with the post-workout meal. Also throw some ice in here. It is delightful. 1/2. Other things added: digestive enzymes every meal, before every meal, except for the meal of whey protein, because it already contains digestive enzymes. ultra nice and cold. Yeah, buddy. Hostile also has these jugs on their website as well. I got this one off Amazon before I started working with them, but in the next week or two, I'm gonna get a Hostile one as well. I can have 2 of these bad boys, so I don't have to use the same one every day. As always, 1/4 teaspoon pink salt every meal, tip away protein. My favorite sauce on this prep has been this peanut new sauce. 5 calories per 15 grams, as we always measure our sauce. And that combination has been fantastic with my chicken meals. The chicken and rice meal, and then the chicken rice sweet potato meal on low days is my post-workout meal. On medium days and high days, I get a meal that's just chicken and sweet potato. I use it on that as well. And then my medium and high days, it's chicken, rice, and dates pre-workout. Use it on that as well. And I like doing the cinnamon, the pink salt, chicken, rice, or /and sweet potato, and cinnamon is the combo. And I don't really see that changing once we go into reverse. And our reverse is going to be slowly titrating in food. Nothing too fast. We're going to keep body composition lean. Go to a nice deep 10-week health phase, get blood work done. And then we'll go into a push. It's going to be a long off season. Probably a good year and a half to really grow, and then we'll probably do a string of shows in the summer of 2027. So since last meal, all I've done is I've worked, and I also closed my eyes for about 30 minutes. I don't really know if I slept. Maybe a minute or 2 I slept. But even just kind of resting, throwing my legs up because they are so exhausted, so beat up right now. And resting that little bit just feels incredible. 70 grams of white rice, which is 20 grams of carbs. That's all we get pre-workout. It feels good. And I mean, I track sleep every night with the Fitbit, through my Fitbit app. I've been pretty good about getting 7 hours of sleep throughout this prep pretty much every week. The average sleep is like right at 7 hours, maybe 7 hours and some change. Last night I got a little less. I think it was like 6 hours and 20 something minutes, 6 hours and 30 something minutes. Sleep score was 77. It's only been a handful of times I've had a sleep score below 75 on this prep. And it was just due to hunger and just me being in my head. Hunger is so much mental, you know, the more you focus on the hunger, the harder it is going to be to sleep, the harder it is going to be to stay on your diet. So last prep, my whole Instagram feed was full of crap junk food, and I had this whole list of where I was going to eat after the show and all the cheat meals I was going to have in the off season. I've just completely avoided that this time. Because all it does is just make things harder. But on those days where my sleep score is less than 80, I get less than 7 hours of sleep, I feel it. So taking a short nap or just closing my eyes for a little bit before my pre-workout meal can help. Can definitely help make my workout better. So 70 grams of rice, 196 grams of chicken breast. We got our ground cinnamon right here for us. Nice hefty amount of that. Helps with insulin sensitivity as well, but at this point it's more just for flavor. 1/4 teaspoon of pink salt. salt and water consistent, so come peak week, we can easily make those water manipulations. And again, salt's pretty much the only thing giving me a pump right now. And these 20 grams of carbs, and then 15 grams of the peanut sauce. Honestly, on this meal, it's so small I don't even need it. I'm just gonna do 10 grams. I don't even need all 15. There you have it. Let me get you the macros on this meal real quick. We got 283 calories, 43 grams of protein, 20 grams of carbs, and it says 2 grams of fat from the chicken. But I'm going to put this down, wait about 15-20 minutes, have this pre, and then head to the gym. We are hitting chest and biceps. 9 sets of chest, working sets has been my go-to. Incline Smith and the Prime incline machine have been my go-to incline pressing movements this whole prep. Today I got 3 sets of the incline Prime machine. 1 set of 6 to 10 heavier, and then 2 sets of 10 to 15. That second set will probably be more like 10 to 12. That third set, probably more like 12 to 15 reps. I'm only doing 3 movements on chest actually today. So the second movement is going to be the Arsenal seated flat chest press. 3 sets there, 1 set a little heavier of that kind of 8 to 12, and then 2 sets of like 12 to 15. And then I'm gonna do 3 sets of cable flies. Finish out the chest, probably 10 to 15 reps, all 3 sets there. Move over to biceps. There's this machine curl where I have the blue size fat grips that I throw on there, and that's been by far my favorite bicep workout this prep. I've just really connected with it, and it doesn't create too much fatigue CNS wise. So I'll probably do 3 sets, 10 to 15 there, and then I'll move over to an easy bar preacher curl. And I'll do 2 sets at 10 to 12 there. So pretty simple. 14 sets in total, 9 sets of chest, 5 sets of biceps. And I'll see you back for post-workout meal of chicken, rice, and sweet potato. Salt, cinnamon, and peanut sauce. Basic shit. All right, folks. So workout is done. Chest and biceps completed. 5 rounds of posing done. 20 minutes. Not of Stairmaster. We actually did the incline treadmill. So about halfway through my workout, coach made some tweaks. So it was all Stairmaster for cardio, but the legs are beat to shit and super inflamed. So to pull some fatigue off of the legs, what we're doing now is heart rate for cardio is in between 120 and 130 beats per minute. That's how it's been all prep. That is now dropped from 120 to 130 to 110 to 115. And so post-workout session on training day and PM session on the non-training days are now incline treadmill instead of stairs to take some pressure off of the legs. And in the mornings fasted, the normal 60 minutes on training days is now 30 minutes on the stairs and 30 minutes on the treadmill. And non-training days, instead of 55 minutes on the stairs, is 30 minutes on the stairs, 25 minutes on the treadmill. So bringing the heart rate down a little bit and adding more time to the treadmill rather than the stairs to help, I don't know why the light keeps tweaking, to help bring down inflammation in the legs because they are extremely inflamed and beat to shit. I'm going to take another Epsom salt bath tonight to try to help that along as well. Post-workout meal here. 196 grams of chicken breast, 70 grams of white rice, 112 grams of sweet potato. The other thing that coach decided to do is we are running high days
the next 2 days. So protein's going to be dropped from about 270 to 200 grams. Carbs are raised from like 111 to about 350 grams. And fats dropped from 25 grams to about 7 grams. So overall total calories, instead of 1,800 calories like we're doing low days, my high days are like 2,350, something like that. So a little 500 calorie boost for the next 2 days. Almost, 3 times the amount of carbs, a little less protein for digestion, a little less fat. And after a high day, my metabolism gets firing. And the last 2 times we've ran high days, my weight's dropped. So again, bring a little more life back to the legs, bring a little bit more life back to the physique by tweaking cardio, adding some high days. So I had prepped sweet potato for low days. So tomorrow I'm going to need to go pick up some sweet potato. And then tomorrow I will actually probably make rice in the rice cooker for the first time in a long time, because I haven't ran back-to-back high days this whole prep. We've had, I did a sushi refeed twice, and I had an In-N-Out, but that was like 12 to 20 weeks out. I think my last sushi refeed was 12 weeks out. And then since then, it's just been a couple of these high days thrown in there, and 2,300 calories. So, first time running back-to-back high days. Look at this itty-bitty sweet potato. So the way I do my sweet potato, look how small this little guy is I measure it skinned and raw, because that's the most consistent way to measure sweet potato. And so I'll put X amount of servings in the air fryer. So let's say I'm doing it for 3 days. I'll put, 336 grams of sweet potato, air fryer, and then I'll measure it after it's all cooked, divide it by 3, and divvy them up in little foil pieces, so I have low day sweet potato ready to go. And I was expecting more low day sweet potato, so that's all I had prepped. I only have 1 sweet potato in the pantry, and my sweet potato goes from 112 grams to 224, so double the amount of sweet potato on high days. So I will need to hit Trader Joe's tomorrow, get some sweet potato, and I was going to have to stop and get eggs Friday, but on my low days, or on my high days, I don't get any whole eggs, just egg whites. As I said, fats dropped a good amount, so won't need to get whole eggs. I'll wait till Costco on Saturday. Again, with this meal, digestive enzyme, 1/4 of a teaspoon of pink salt will be on the top of the meal, ground cinnamon on top of the meal, and peanut new sauce. This is what I have left to intro. I'll probably finish this up with this meal. And then I have about a little bit over a liter more water to go. But I do have an A&W root beer float for meal 5 on these low days, where I do creamy almond butter. All right, we got the finished product here. Boom. 196 grams of chicken, 112 grams of sweet potato, and 70 grams of white rice. Let me pull up these macros real quick. 379 calories, 45 grams of protein, 39 grams of carbs, 2 grams of fat from the chicken. 2 meals left after this, no carbs. Like I said, the next meal is like a root beer float, A&W Zero root beer, vanilla creamy, 12 grams of almond butter, and then last meal is just chicken and green beans. Simple as it gets. The basic shit works, man. It's not exciting, it's not special, it's not pretty. I love that late 90s, early 2000s bodybuilding of just basic shit, man. It works. It works. Hard cardio, hard training, hard dieting, good nutritious food for years. I'm starving. Put this down. I'll see you back. I'll show you how I make my root beer float. All right, so I'm about 25 minutes away from meal number 5, and I have 20 minutes left of direct walking. So got the walking pad here. Got the fan set up, so pointing the fan right at me, stay nice and cool. I got this for like 120 bucks, 115 bucks on Amazon. Watching some old Kevin Levrone videos here. The Maryland Muscle Machine mock production DVD. So I'm gonna knock out this 20 minutes of walking. And then I got a bunch of boxes here. I actually just signed a new lease today. So I move out in almost exactly a month, just over, but with, you know, I got a full peak week, the show, then I'm flying out to California for Thanksgiving for 4 nights. So I mean, really, I got about 2 weeks to get everything packed up and set out to move out. And you know, I work a lot, and obviously bodybuilding takes up a lot of time, so I gotta start getting packing as well. So start on that today, and then I'm gonna start an Epsom salt bath while I get meal 5 ready. See you for that. All right, starting the Epsom salt bath so I can have the root beer floating here. I do about 2/3 bag per Epsom salt bath, so I got 1/3 bag left of lavender, about a 1/3 bag left of this pre and post workout. So I'm gonna throw these in there. Keep this rolling. Got the water, got the fan. Perfect setup. I'll probably listen to a podcast or read a book per usual. So throw all this in there, and I'll see you for the root beer float. All right, so 0 sugar A&W root beer, vanilla creamy. I do 2 spins on the light ice cream, so 68 grams of whey protein, 2 scoops, 240 calories, 220 grams of water, 1/8 teaspoon xanthan gum, 2 spins in the Ninja Creamy on light ice cream, makes it like soft serve. And with this meal, I also get 12 grams of almond butter, so I'll scoop this out and eat it with the creamy on the first like 2 bites. And then I get my big cup, it's like my extra large like iced coffee cup with a straw, pour the creamy in, and then it's about max 16 ounces of root beer that I get in there, but it's probably more like 12 ounces. So I'll show you the final product. All right, so creamy double spin is done. I have some root beer in the cup already. Also, pro tip, this is an extra long spoon. I originally got this for the Costco size almond butters to help mix them up and then get them down at the bottom because my hands were too big to get in there. But it's also now my root beer float spoon. So 12 grams of almond butter here. Even helps just get to the bottom of these regular size ones. Look at that, 12 grams on the dot, and that pretty much kills this, so I'm actually gonna toss this. 12 grams of almond butter, like I said, so double spin, almost makes it like soft serve. This is the best single bite of the whole day. So good. So good. So I've noticed when I make the creamies with water rather than almond milk, at the bottom, even on a double spin, it gets a little icy. So again, this big spoon really helps just kind of break up some of that ice. Makes it a little bit smoother. And kind of slowly put our creamy with our root beer. It's gonna foam up, so don't just drop it all at once. See, it's it's really not that much root beer when it's all said and done. And it's a pretty big cup. It's about the size of some of those like A&W root beer mugs, back in the good old days when they had the KFC A&W combos. Those just came out. My dad, brother, and I would go get some fried chicken and a giant root beer float. Good old days, man. And then, obviously, just top it up with root beer. And it's super foamy putting the root beer in on top of the creamy. But there you have it. That in there. I mean, look at this. Spilled. Of course, the one time I film, I spill. I haven't spilled all prep. But man, dieting's so much easier now. Back in the day, they didn't have freaking creamies. They didn't have all these sugar-free sauces. It was just mustard and Tabasco, egg whites, fish, veggies. Yeah, I mean, the hunger level is still there. Don't get me wrong, I'm hungry 24/7. I've been dieting for 18 straight weeks. I've lost 50 pounds. So it's not any easier in that aspect, but I mean, I get yummy peanut sauce and Ninja Creamy root beer floats. So life could be worse. I'm gonna take this to the bath, take an Epsom salt bath. I finished up work in between meal 4 and meal 5 before the walk. Might pack, might play some Assassin's Creed Shadows. I bought the game like 3 weeks ago because last prep I bought Assassin's Creed Mirage. Played it, beat the game. It was a great prep activity. I got Shadows. I played it like maybe 2 hours and then I just haven't even had the energy and the brain capacity to even play a video game. I'll just throw on like a James Bond movie and go on my phone or work. Or just stare at a screen. But I don't know. We'll see. That might be what I do anyway. Just throw on a James Bond movie or a horror movie. But regardless, I'll see you back for meal 6, chicken and green beans. Whoop whoop. All right, folks. Meal number 6, most exciting meal of all time. I've already taken my Leviathan Slumber. It's my sleep supplement I take about an hour before bed. Took that about an hour ago. And then about 25-ish minutes ago, I took my Unisom, which I've been kind of taking the last 3-4 weeks of prep, just really to help get better sleep, stay asleep longer. I mean, I still wake up to pee about 3 times, but anyway, that's what we got. 196 grams of chicken breast, 40 grams of green beans. Simplicity. Quarter teaspoon of pink salt. I did top it with a little bit of cinnamon, and then did 12 grams of this sriracha maple new sauce. I'm also having a sparkling Waterloo's raspberry nectarine. You know, I kind of like the sparkling waters, but really more than anything, it's just because I'm hungry as shit. And it's just to try to fill my stomach up with some bubbles so I can sleep, because this last meal doesn't do anything. None of the meals really fill me up. I mean, none of them fill me up at all. Always hungry, but this one specifically, you know, end of the day, especially after training, the 2 cardio sessions, the walking, the posing, all that. Calories on this meal: 204 calories, 42 grams of protein, 2 grams of carbs from the green beans, trace carbs, and 2 grams of fat from the chicken. You know, trace fat, trace carbs. Sorry, I can't really think right now. Calories: 1,800 calories, 269 grams of protein, 112 grams of carbs, 25 grams of fat. Marking off all my meals on my coach's app. Work with Tommy Styles, and this is liter number 7 of water. So, per usual, finishing up my 7th liter of water right with my last meal, and then have the sparkling water. And that's that. Already took my digestive enzymes. Already took all my PM supplements.
but I'm gonna stop yapping, eat this. Hope you guys enjoyed it. 2.5 weeks out, so I'll definitely be more active on YouTube the peak week. Also, I'm very active on Instagram. I post a lot of stories a day, a couple posts there a week, a couple posts a week on TikTok, almost every day on TikTok as well. So follow along on those accounts for more consistent posting. But yeah, with peak week, I'll show the peak week grocery hauls, the depletion diets. It's going to be all pump work. We already have scheduled out the workouts. Saturday's the last leg day, Sunday's a rest. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm training all 4 days, but like 40 minutes, 3 to 5 reps in reserve, just pump work. Monday's chest and tri. Tuesday's back, Wednesday's delts and arms, and then Thursday's just kind of overall upper body pump. Carb up really starts Wednesday, heavy carb up day Thursday. Friday we're meal to meal. Saturday's probably going to be 2 bigger meals and then get on stage, or 2 bigger meals and a quick snack, get on stage, and then probably a meal in between prejudging and finals. I mean, pretty simple. About 10 days out, we'll probably pull back a little more on cardio. Again, try to flush some of this inflammation, some of this water, and I think as we do that, we'll even drop some more weight. Hopefully the physique comes to life a little more, because it just looks tired. 18 weeks of dieting. Mentally tired, physically tired. Definitely ready to have a little more food. And I'll still be hungry for that first good 3 months coming out of prep. But just having more food just to fuel training, less cardio. Focus more on training, because past few weeks, training's just not fun. It's kind of more of a chore at this point. But you got the end goal in mind. You know what I set out to do. Can't control who shows up, but for our best foot forward. Definitely going to be a improved package from last time. It's always the goal, and just present what best physique we're able to present. Take a good 1.5 years to grow. Do it all over again. So I'm gonna watch a little bit of Star Wars or Toy Story. Brush my teeth. Throw on my eye mask and my nose strip. Call it a night. God bless. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Your support means everything. All like 4 followers that I have. But in a couple years, we'll have a lot more. Better physique to go along with it, more accolades as well. But God bless.